farm community?
Well, we have a crisis. This is historic. We have never had a drought like this in most Missourians' lifetimes. And it is going to have a dramatic impact on our economy and on jobs, on food prices, if we don't get this farm bill passed. And it passed the Senate on a bipartisan basis. Both Senator Blunt and I supported it. Cuts the deficit by $23 billion, cuts food stamps and other programs, and now the House of Representatives and my opponent, Todd Aiken, need to step up and help us get this assistance to these farmers who are in the midst of a crisis that I'm afraid too many Missourians don't understand.
Is there any wiggle room on the food stamp program? 80% of it, is that what I understand is the cost overall?
Historically, these two programs have been joined together because we couldn't get them through the House without joining them. You have city folks in Congress that just represent the cities, and then you have Congress folks who just represent the country. One of them would vote for the farm bill, the other would vote for food stamps, but they wouldn't vote for the other. So they were combined a long time ago in order to make sure both programs were not controversial. And that's why they have been joined. I'm fine with them being separate. I voted on some amendments that most Democrats didn't vote for to limit some of the fraud and abuse that we have in the food stamp program. But you can't use the food stamp program as an excuse not to give help to these farmers. That's just flat wrong.
You said that there may be a lot of people that don't necessarily know all what goes into this bill. What would be the couple of the top things that you want to get to people to understand what the priority is with passing this or extending this?
Well, you know, sometimes we hear lectures about how business people need certainty and predictability. Well, no one needs that more than farmers. They need to plan next year. They've got high input costs. They need to know what are the programs that are going to be in place next year. That's why, you know, extending the farm bill for 30 days, we've got to get this 2-year bill done, and we need to make sure that the crop insurance program is robust and fair, that the shallow loss program survives. Those are both in the farm bill. In addition, it renews the livestock disaster assistance, which has expired. If we don't get this passed, we're not going to be able to get the grain and water assistance to these ranchers and cattlemen and hog farmers across the state. So it is critically important that the minute we return to Washington in September, that the House of Representatives take up this bipartisan farm bill that cuts the deficit and get it passed.
What other consequences do you believe would happen if the farm bill wasn't passed?
Well, first of all, if we don't get a farm bill passed, we revert back to farm programs from the 40s. We don't even have data available to base that on. So I don't think that the Tea Party, who is blocking this bill, understands how important agriculture is to my state's economy. And if you talk about job loss, it is the shining star of Missouri's economy, our agricultural community, our commodities and our livestock. That is where we have trade surpluses. We're feeding the world. We are providing jobs not just on farms, but there's a huge ripple effect in all of these communities. So while I'm trying to save the rural post offices, I've got to make sure that we get this farm bill done because I know how important it is to Missouri.
Now, Aiken does oppose the farm bill, but he is ahead in the polls by about 11 points. How do you plan to bridge that gap?
Well, first of all, I don't believe he's ahead in the polls by 11 points. By the way, the polls said that I think we're 23 points off on his primary victory. I think the poll said he was 17 points down, and he won by 5. So Todd Aiken knows that the polls are not correct. I think this will be a close race, but I think if I can get the contrast out there, if people know that Todd Aiken is willing to privatize Medicare and privatize Social Security and, in fact, blow up student loans and do away with the minimum wage and has never voted for a farm bill and wouldn't even vote for disaster assistance after the flooding, I think those are all pretty compelling issues for most Missourians.
Thank you.
Thank you.